All buildings in this area must be evacuated now. All buildings in this area must be evacuated now. All buildings in this area must be evacuated now. If you can hear this message, evacuate now. If you can hear this message, evacuate now.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Echo Chamber. My name is Carlton Cole. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button and the bell notification to be alerted every time we post a new video. You can also comment, like, and share this video around as it helps us to beat the censors. I received a letter in the mail from Facebook today so that I could verify that I am who I say that I am. I think that Facebook is worried that I'm a political activist and they need to make sure they know where I'm at. So, but I'm going to do what I got to do to continue to share my opinion and voice my concerns. And I hope that you all do the same. Don't be scared to talk about your faith. Don't be scared to talk about your views. But do it in a loving way, because when we talk down to other people, we are not glorifying God. And that's the point, isn't it? So that we can share our faith in God. That's the number one thing we should be doing in this time, because this world is fleeting. It's going to be over before you know it. And there is an eternal life, and you want to be on the right side of that. So please pray for your leaders and be kind in the way you talk to people. And I will do the same. So we're going to get into this, but before we do, I'm going to read a simplified version of the First Amendment, because that's what's being attacked right now, the First Amendment. So the First Amendment protects several basic freedoms in the United States, including freedom of religion, freedom of speech, freedom of the press, the right to assemble, and the right to petition the government. Now, freedom of religion is under attack. Now, not in the broad scheme, but Christianity. Christianity is under attack. We see churches being targeted in Democrat states, Democrat cities. The Jewish people in New York targeted by Andrew Cuomo. Governor Whitmer, she actually just lost a Supreme Court in that state. A Supreme Court decision says that the churches can remain open. Governor Newsom, the same thing. We're actually seeing he may be recalled, Governor Newsom in California. And, we can pray. So the second here is freedom of speech. Big tech has been censoring conservative views. Mine, for example, I've had a hard time getting videos out. Facebook wouldn't allow me to share a video through Messenger to a lot of people. And it was just sharing my faith. It wasn't talking about politics or opinions. I didn't think it was offensive, but that's the attack on freedom of religion and freedom of speech, which, those two things should go hand in hand. And the freedom of the press. Now, we see Donald Trump saying fake news to these journalists, but, the case that he makes is that they are sensationalists. They only pick the stories that make him look bad, and they blow it up and they distort. They're not interested in telling the truth. They're interested in selling magazines. They're interested in selling papers and getting people to their website. So we also see the right to assemble. Now, this one is interesting because we see Black Lives Matter is able to protest, and Antifa is able to go burn down their cities. And we see governors and mayors, bending the knee and allowing this. There's no rule of law unless it's for those business owners in New York who are peacefully protesting the unconstitutional edicts that Governor Cuomo has put, and that's in New York City. You can look that up, but we're not covering that today. We're covering Nashville, and I'm going to tell you guys right now that these are my opinions, and I have the right to share my opinions, and Facebook should not be allowed to censor these opinions, because this is supposed to be an open platform. If you don't like my opinion, unfollow, block me. That's fine with me. I don't want to offend anybody. I just want to tell you the truth and my opinion. You should be able to, be mature enough to just walk away, and that's the difference. We should be able to have mature adult conversations and walk away if it gets heated, and control our tongues and all that. But I digress. We're going to look at Nashville and some theories, and you guys make your own conclusions. And I'm just telling you what I've read, what my opinion is, and somewhere there's the truth somewhere, and hopefully we find it soon. There's a breaking story that another RV or box truck was found on the highway playing a similar warning message to the one you heard at the start of this video. And we're watching that. Hopefully we don't have anything crazy to report on that. But let's get into it. Okay, so the first theory we're going to explore is the false flag theory. And a false flag is when somebody, does something crazy and it's blamed on someone else. And we've seen this throughout history. Our own country is responsible for certain false flags. And we're going to look at one example of a false flag carried out by the U.S. government. And this is the Gulf of Tonkin incident, okay? It occurred on August 4th, 1964, as another sea battle, but instead evidence was found of Tonkin ghosts, false radar information, and not actual North Vietnamese torpedo boats. Interesting, okay? And so the outcome of these incidents was the passage by U.S. Congress of the Gulf of Tonkin Resolution, which granted U.S. President Lyndon B. Johnson the authority to assist any Southeast Asian country whose government was considered to be jeopardized by communist aggression. The resolution served as Johnson's legal justification for deploying U.S. conventional forces and commencement of open warfare against Vietnam. Well, remember when the public in the United States was against communism? Oh man, I wish we were back in those days. But we see here a false flag carried out and resulting in a war that cost hundreds of thousands of lives in very painful ways, including back in those days, if you got an infection, you were dead. And the Vietnamese they would set booby traps to cause sepsis and all kinds of disgusting things. But the reason I bring this up is because I typed into Google CNN owned by AT&T. You can see it up on the screen. And look what the first article that popped up was. Trump suggests boycott of CNN's parent company, AT&T. Well, isn't that interesting? Google, which is a globalist corporation, and Google helped the Chinese enslave Muslims in the millions. That country that started this virus is a communist country and is killing their own people for religious reasons. It's just like what happened in Nazi Germany. They stopped allowing religious gatherings and resulted in taking the guns and that's just, it's history repeating itself. That's why we shouldn't be tearing down our statues, because it reminds us of where we came from and where we shouldn't go again. So I just think it's interesting, Google, who can change the outcome of an election because they control the information. And this is alarming. And we should definitely be looking into ways to break up this company. If you have the ability to use another search browser, I would say DuckDuckGo is a good one. Just be careful of where you get your information. Even here, don't take my word for it. Look into this yourself. But if you typed in Clinton body count, right, which I've already done, you see all these articles and it says conspiracy theories, you know what I'm saying? But it's interesting, isn't it? How many people close to Hillary Clinton have died in mysterious ways? Like Jeffrey Epstein, we make jokes about it, but that's a serious story that, is gone. Ghislaine Maxwell, what's going on with that case right now? They control the narrative, just like CNN, which is owned by AT&T. And we're going to get into that here. Okay. And so the next possibility, for this, attack on Nashville, an attack on ABC is, the 5G, concerns. And there are concerns. And the CDC says possible risks associated with 5G technology. Okay. And now you may not know some of this stuff and you can chalk it up to conspiracy theories, whatever you want. But it's a theory and that's all we're going to say. That's just this is just my opinion here. Okay. So it says cellular networks for nearly 40 years with 1G network launched in 81, allowing users to speak on their phone. And then 2G was launched. Then 3G was launched, 4G, right? Okay, and so it says cellular networks began testing 4G in the late 2018, and by the end of the year, most U.S. metropolitan areas are expected to have access to the network. By mid-2020, most areas of the country, including Huntsville, will have access. 5G is believed to be smarter, faster, and more efficient than 4G, with speeds up to 100 gigabytes per second. Now, the part that I want you guys to look at here is this right here. Okay. 5G will expand that to 24 to 90 from 1 to 4 gigahertz. Okay. Gigahertz. These are, bandwidths. Okay. So these are going to be very close to homes. Between every 2 to 8 homes, expanding the coverage. Okay, I digress. So 5G, said by the CDC, who apparently are gods now, the way they have been able to shut this country down over a disease that has like a 99% survival rate. Now, I'm not saying it's not real. I'm just saying that it's overblown, and you can tell me that I'm wrong. That's fine with me. Get my comments up. That's sweet. Okay. But look at this. Active denial system. Okay. Non-lethal direct energy weapon developed by the U.S. military. Now look, it says ADS works by firing a high-powered 100 kilowatt output energy beam of 95 gigahertz. Okay, now let's see. We just saw 24 to 90 gigahertz. Okay, and the U.S. government uses this technology as a weapon. Isn't that interesting? And it's going to be, between every 2 to 8 homes. Okay, well, that does alarm me. That alarms me. I don't know if it alarms you. Let me know in the comments. Okay? So, we did learn the name of this Anthony, I don't remember his last name. Anthony. Okay? So, the last theory is that this man, bombed AT&T because And I'm laughing, but this is just as possible as these other two theories, okay? According to sources, not long ago, AT&T was awarded a contract to conduct a forensic audit of the Dominion voting machines. These voting machines are being handed over to the Nashville computer room, and will be audited by supercomputers, okay? Now, you can read this article, and it's compelling. All these arguments are compelling, And you can make your own judgment. That's the whole point of these videos, is I'm not telling you what to believe. I'm telling you my opinion. And, I'm giving, you my best, arguments for these things. I don't want to offend anybody, but the government has done shady things. The African American community doesn't trust the government to even, administer these vaccines. There's a lot of reasons why we shouldn't trust our government, why we should be looking at all possible avenues for contesting this election, which should be contested. This is just an interesting article, and I'm going to let you guys read it. I'm going to post it in the description below. Make sure you share this video. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you hit the bell notification. And I don't have a schedule for releasing these videos. I'm just going to do them when I feel compelled to do them. So look into these, articles, look into this, these conspiracy theories for yourself. You be the judge, and we'll see you next time here on the Echo Chamber. God bless.